Hi, my name's Jason Horn. I am the secondary supervisor for Campbell County Schools. Also, I am in charge of our distance learning program this year, and I wanted to explain a little bit what the virtual option student and parent agreement was all about. Just to fill in some of the gaps, maybe, if you didn't understand. First of all, you're going to be picking these up at the distance learning table at your child's school on August 5th, 2020. That's on registration day. And the first thing you're going to do is, first of all, you're going to sign up for the entire fall 2020 semester. Now, I know that that's a lot. I know that that's a tough decision to decide to pull your student out of school for an entire semester, but that's what we have to do for planning purposes. We are not financially able to have enough teachers to do virtual and face-to-face and put them back and forth. We're actually going to have to pull some teachers to do virtual for the entire semester, and we can't have students flipping back and forth between virtual and face-to-face instruction. So you're going to have to sign up for the entire fall 2020 semester. I know that other school districts are doing like a 9-week trial, but we're doing the 18-week. That's what we have to do. The next thing you have to agree to is to monitor your students' progress daily. You are taking on a bit of a responsibility for the child's learning in this situation, in that you need to see how they're doing, if they're meeting their daily goals. And of course, the teacher will be in touch with you if they are not, but that's something for you to look at and to keep in front of. The next is to give the student a comfortable, quiet place to work. A student should not be required to babysit or something like that during their work hours. And by the way, we are expecting students, if they are K through 2, to be working about 4.5 hours a day. If they are 3 through 12, we're expecting them to work about 6.5 hours a day. Now, not all of that has to be at the computer. Obviously, even in a 6.5 hour school day, you've got time for lunch, you've got, time in the halls and that sort of thing. But we do expect, students to be getting that amount of work done. Next, you agree to keep high-speed internet running in your home. This will not work without high-speed internet. And while we are aware that, about 40% of our county does not have access to high-speed internet, and we hate that, that's just, there's nothing that we can do about it. And I wish that there were, but there's not. So you have to keep high-speed internet running in your home to do this. You also need to agree to regularly communicate with the child's teacher. You should do that even in face-to-face school, but this is definitely important in virtual school. Now, let's talk about the bad parts. The consequences for not meeting these expectations. Like if the student does no work and receives absences and they're not in touch with the teacher, basically they're just ghosting on us, then they're going to be summoned to court for truancy. Because every day a student doesn't work, they're getting an absence. It's just like not showing up. And the same things apply about, getting parent notes for illness and that sort of thing. But if we just don't hear from you and don't hear from your child and they don't do any work, then they're going to get an absence for that day. And once they get about 10 of those, they are going to go to court for truancy. The other consequence is they could be mandatorily put back into traditional school. And that's going to be a big problem, especially if the student has, if they are immunocompromised, if they have illness. It's just going to cause a big problem for us and for you and trying to figure all of that out. So please, please, please don't get into the situation where we're having to decide to put the student back in school or not. We're always going to make a decision based on their health, but we may have to ask you to find another option that works for you if this is not working. I'd rather not that not happen. I'd rather you just get through this and do it for the semester and do it well. Now, we're going to ask the student, once they're third grade or older, to initial and sign all of this as well, and students are going to agree to the same thing. But I wanted you to be aware of what our expectations are and what the consequences are. It's not that difficult The way it will work, most of the work is asynchronous, meaning that you can work on it any time, but there will be daily office hours from teachers and weekly mandatory meetings with teachers over Zoom or Teams, however they decide to do that. And so they will have a meeting place every day that students can get help, and they will also have weekly mandatory meetings where the teachers are going to talk about your progress and that sort of thing. So this won't be hard to do if you put your mind to it and if you encourage your students to do it, but I wanted you to know what you were signing before you signed it. If you have any questions, please let us know, and have a great day.